Hi, today we're going to talk about how I locked in my pricing for my freelance and consulting business. When I first started, pricing was the hardest part of freelancing for me. I didn't want to undercharge, but I also didn't want unpredictable income or constant uncertainty about what I should be charging. What finally worked for me was building my pricing around banks of time and retainers and project work, but we'll get into that in a minute. Everything is paid up front, though. This is how I landed on these models and why I still use them today. Here are 5 things I figured out about pricing when I first started. Okay, number one, I stopped selling hours. So when I first started freelancing, I priced my work hourly because that's what I knew. I didn't really know how to do it any different. It felt familiar, it felt low risk. I was just starting out. It just felt safe, I guess, to me. But over time, I realized that hourly pricing didn't reflect the real value of my work, as you will soon find out for yourself. After more than 10 years of doing this, one thing is very clear to me. I'm not being paid for an hour of my time. I'm being paid for the over 20 years of experience and a decade of applying it as a consultant in real businesses. So clients aren't paying for how long it takes me to respond. They're actually paying for that experience behind the response. It's the ability for me to understand the situation quickly and give the right answer with confidence. So once I fully owned that, pricing stopped feeling uncomfortable for me. Number two, banks of time. Once I stopped selling hours, I needed a pricing structure that worked in the real world. That's when I moved to banks of time that are good for 6 months. Banks of time give my clients the flexibility without turning every interaction into a transaction. Smaller business really appreciate it because they're able to budget, they ask questions as they come up, and they get support without worrying about a running clock. From my side, banks of time create predictability because everything is paid up front before I'll even start working with them. There's no chasing invoices for me, no tracking every minute, and no guessing about cash flow for my business. After years of working this way, I see banks of time as a deliberate choice, not a compromise. They support how clients actually need help and how I want to run my business. Now, some of you may not like banks of time, but if you can imagine, I have some clients that have less than 5 employees. They only need HR support once every couple months. So banks of time make perfect sense for them. Number three, projects as the on ramp. So I still do project work and I bill for projects, but I'm very intentional about how I use it. For me, projects are a way to establish scope, set expectations, and build trust with my clients. They give both me and the client clarity about what working together looks like. But projects are never the end of the relationship. I cannot tell you a single client that it has been the end of the relationship. We always move forward with either banks of time or a retainer. So once the project is complete, clients realize they need ongoing support. And that's when the work naturally shifts to either of those two, a bank of time or a retainer. So projects aren't my pricing model, they're the on ramp for my clients. Number four, retainers create stability for me. So once a client relationship is established, retainers seem to be the best structure for me. Retainers allow me to provide that consistent proactive support instead of reacting to one-off requests. The client knows I'm available because they're on a retainer, and I know exactly what level of support I'm committing to with them. From a business perspective, and for me, of course, retainers create that stability. The work is all paid up front the first of the month, expectations are clear, and income is very predictable, which is so important in having your own business. After years of doing this, I see retainers as a sign of a healthy long-term client. And they're not, in my opinion, about working more. They're about working in a way that's sustainable for me and my business. Number five, I have pricing that supports my life. At this stage of my career, midlife, pricing isn't just about the work, it's about how I want to live. I know what I need from my business. I need flexibility, predictability, and the ability to plan my time without constantly selling or scrambling. Banks of time and retainers give me that. They allow me to manage my workload intentionally, plan my income, and be selective about the work I take on. This pricing structure is what makes the business sustainable for me. It supports my life instead of forcing my life to bend around my work. Okay, hopefully this helped. If pricing still feels uncomfortable or unclear right now, that doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. It usually just means you're still figuring out what fits. Pricing isn't about finding the perfect number, it's about choosing a structure that reflects your experience, supports your clients, and gives you the stability to do your best work. You're allowed to evolve your pricing as you grow. I know I did. And if you want more real practical conversations about freelancing, pricing, and building work around your life, make sure you subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.